Consistency is the most underrated force in the universe. It is not flashy. It does not make headlines. It does not impress in the moment. But it is the difference between everyone who achieves something and everyone who does not. Talent is common. Consistency is rare. Consistency is not about being perfect every day. It is about showing up again and again, regardless of how you feel. It is about building momentum through repetition. It is about trusting that small daily actions will compound into extraordinary results. The person who practices for 20 minutes every day will surpass the person who practices for 4 hours once a week. The undisciplined person waits for motivation. They wait for inspiration. They wait for the perfect moment. The consistent person does not wait. They show up. They do the work. They trust the process. Motivation is an emotion. Consistency is a decision. Consistency is not about being perfect every day. It is about showing up again and again, regardless of how you feel. It is about building momentum through repetition. It is about trusting that small daily actions will compound into extraordinary results. The person who practices for 20 minutes every day will surpass the person who practices for 4 hours once a week. The undisciplined person waits for motivation. They wait for inspiration. They wait for the perfect moment. The consistent person does not wait. They show up. They do the work. They trust the process. Motivation is an emotion. Consistency is a decision. The first truth of consistency is not about intensity. It is about frequency. It is the repetition that builds the habit that builds the identity that builds the life. You do not need to do more. You need to do it more often. Frequency is the variable that matters most. The person who writes for 10 minutes every day will write more than the person who waits for a 4-hour block of inspiration. The person who exercises for 15 minutes every day will be fitter than the person who exercises for 2 hours once a week. Frequency is the multiplier. The second truth, consistency is the foundation of trust. When you are consistent, you build trust with yourself. You prove to yourself that you are reliable. You prove to yourself that your word means something. This self-trust is the foundation of all achievement. The person who is inconsistent cannot trust themselves. They make promises they do not keep. They set goals they do not achieve. They say, "I will do this," and then they do not. And each broken promise erodes the trust. The consistent person keeps their promises, and that self-trust is sovereignty. The third truth, consistency creates momentum. Momentum is the force that makes the next action easier. It is the accumulated energy of repeated action. The hardest step is the first. Each step after that is easier. Momentum is the physics of consistency. The person who starts and stops, is always starting. They are always facing the hardest step. The person who is consistent has momentum. They are already moving. The movement makes the next movement easier. Consistency is the momentum that carries you. The fourth truth, consistency is the mother of mastery. Mastery is not achieved in a single burst of effort. It is achieved through thousands of repetitions. The pianist who practices scales every day, the athlete who runs every morning, the writer who writes every dawn, they are not practicing for mastery. They are practicing into mastery. The undisciplined person wants to be a master without being a student. The consistent person knows that mastery is a byproduct of practice. They do not seek mastery. They seek practice. Mastery arrives unnoticed, as a gift of the repetition. The fifth truth, Consistency is a form of identity. When you are consistent, you are not just doing the action. You are becoming the person who does the action. You are saying to yourself, I am someone who writes. I am someone who exercises. I am someone who meditates. The action is the evidence of the identity. The inconsistent person says, I want to be someone who writes. The consistent person says, I am someone who writes. The identity shift is not a lie. It is a prophecy. The repetition is the fulfillment of the prophecy. Consistency is how you become what you choose. The sixth truth, consistency requires a system, not a goal. Goals are destinations. Systems are the paths that lead to destinations. A goal is, I want to write a book. A system is, I will write for 20 minutes every morning. The goal is the what. The system is the how. Consistency is the system. The person who focuses on the goal is always at risk of quitting. They measure their progress against the goal, and the goal is far away. The person who focuses on the system does not quit. The system is the daily practice. The daily practice is the consistency. The system is everything. The seventh truth, consistency is built in small increments. You do not become consistent overnight. You build it, one day at a time, one action at a time, one commitment at a time. Each day you show up, you add a brick to the structure. Each day you do not, the structure weakens. The undisciplined person tries to be consistent all at once. They expect to change everything overnight. When they fail, they quit. The disciplined person knows that consistency is built slowly. They are patient with themselves. They trust the process. The increments are the architecture. The eighth truth, consistency requires a minimum commitment. You need a floor below which you never fall, a minimum commitment that you keep every day, no matter what. A minimum commitment that is small enough to be unbreakable. The minimum commitment is the anchor that holds you when everything else is uncertain. For a writer, the minimum commitment might be one sentence. For a runner, it might be 1 mile. For a meditator, it might be 1 minute. The minimum commitment is not about progress, it is about presence. It is the evidence that you are still in the game. It is the consistency that keeps you consistent. The ninth truth, consistency is a habit, not a choice. The undisciplined person wakes up each morning and decides whether to practice. The consistent person does not decide. The decision was made long ago. The practice is a habit, and habits require no willpower. You build the habit by repetition. You build it by showing up day after day until the action becomes automatic. The habit is the discipline that requires no willpower because the decision is already made. Consistency is the habit that becomes automatic. Build the habit. Become consistent. The 10th truth, consistency is about returning, not never failing. You will miss a day. You will break the chain. This is not the end. The consistent person does not define themselves by their failures. They define themselves by their returns. The return is the consistency. The person who never fails is the person who never tries. The consistent person fails, and they return. They miss a day, and they do it again the next day. The return is the evidence of commitment. The return is the consistency. Return every time. The 11th truth, consistency requires a ritual. A ritual is a practice that has become sacred. It is the repetition that has become meaningful. The ritual is not just about doing, it is about being. It is the consistency that has become a way of life. Create your rituals. The morning ritual, the writing ritual, the practice ritual. The ritual is the container for consistency. It is the structure that holds you. The ritual is the discipline that becomes a gift. Build your rituals. Honor your rituals. Become consistent. The 12th truth: consistency is a promise to your future self. When you are consistent today, you are building something for the person you will become. You are saying, I value you. I am investing in you. You will thank me. The consistent person is not just living in the present. They are building for the future. The undisciplined person lives only for today. They do what is easy now and leaves the consequences for later. The consistent person lives for tomorrow. They do what is hard now to create ease later. The consistency is the investment. The future self is the return. The 13th truth: consistency is a form of self-respect. When you are consistent, you are saying to yourself, I respect my own word. I respect my own commitments. I respect the person I am becoming. The inconsistency is a form of self-disrespect. It is a message that you do not believe in yourself enough to follow through. The consistent person respects themselves enough to keep their promises. They respect themselves enough to show up, even when it is hard. They respect themselves enough to build the structure. Self-respect is the foundation. Consistency is the evidence. The 14th truth: consistency is a form of freedom. Freedom is not the absence of structure. It is the presence of choice. When you are inconsistent, you are not free. You are a slave to your impulses. You do what you feel when you feel it. When you are consistent, you are free. You choose your action, regardless of your feeling. The disciplined person is not the one who cannot choose. They are the one who has chosen. They have chosen their commitment. They have chosen their structure. They have chosen their consistency. And in that choice, they are free. Consistency is sovereignty. The 15th truth: consistency is a form of resistance. The world wants you to be inconsistent. Distraction, temptation, comfort, the path of least resistance. The world rewards inconsistency with short-term pleasure and long-term regret. Consistency is the resistance to this pattern. It is the refusal to settle for the easy path. The consistent person says no to the immediate for the eventual. They say no to the comfortable for the meaningful. They resist the pull of inconsistency. And in that resistance, they build something that cannot be taken from them. Consistency is the resistance that builds the life. The 16th truth: consistency is the antidote to overwhelm. When you are overwhelmed, you want to do nothing. The task feels too big. The goal feels too far. Consistency breaks the overwhelm into small, manageable actions. You do not need to write a book. You need to write a page. You do not need to run a marathon. You need to run a mile. You do not need to change your life. You need to change your day. The consistent person does not look at the mountain. They look at the step. The step is manageable. The step is now. The step is the consistency. And the steps add up. The consistency is the overwhelm cure. The 17th truth: consistency is a form of patience. The results you want will not come immediately. They may not come for months or years. Consistency requires patience. It requires the trust that the repetition will compound. It requires the faith that the accumulation will produce the transformation. The undisciplined person wants results now. They cannot wait. When the results do not come, they quit. The consistent person can wait. They trust the process. They trust the repetition. They trust the accumulation. Patience is the companion of consistency. Trust the process. The 18th truth. Consistency is a form of love. When you are consistent, you are loving yourself. You are loving the person you are becoming. You are loving your own potential. The inconsistent person is not loving themselves. They are neglecting themselves. They are betraying themselves. Love is not a feeling. Love is action. Love is showing up. Love is the commitment. Love is the consistency. The consistent person loves themselves into being. They love themselves into becoming. Consistency is the love that builds the self. The 19th truth. Consistency is a form of magic. It is the unseen force that turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. The mediocre talent who practices every day becomes great. The gifted talent who does not practice becomes ordinary. Consistency is the multiplier. It is the force that transforms potential into reality. The undisciplined person has potential. The consistent person has results. The potential is nothing without the practice. The consistency is the alchemy. It is the magic that makes the impossible possible. Be the alchemist. Be consistent. The 20th and final truth, consistency is a way of life. It is not a project with an end date. It is not something you do until you succeed and then stop. It is the way you live. It is the way you become. It is the way you are. The consistent person does not stop being consistent when they achieve their goal. They continue. The goal is not the point. The becoming is the point. The consistency is the becoming. It is the architecture of a life well lived. It is the foundation of You have the truths. You have the understanding. The philosophy is clear. Consistency is not about perfection. It is about presence. It is about showing up day after day, commitment after commitment. It is about trusting the repetition. It is about becoming the person who does not quit. The question is not whether you can be consistent. The question is whether you will be consistent. The choice is always yours. The choice is the consistency, and the consistency is the sovereignty. Consistency is the bridge between who you are and who you are becoming. It is the daily practice that transforms potential into reality. It is the force that turns dreams into lives. Be consistent, not because it is easy, because it is the only way. The philosophy is clear. The truth is available. Now show up, day after day, choice after choice. Become consistent. Become sovereign.